Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can. I'm gonna take
Perfect.
out. I'm sorry. I'm doing this at Bryant Park in New York City. So apologies
Wow.
for the distraction, but was
No worries.
on my way. I'm so excited to meet you. Your name is Ang?
And short for Angela.
Angela. Hi, Ange. I'm Emily. So nice to meet
To
you.
meet you.
So I read your questionnaire. I read that you want to figure out like the face framing pieces part. So
Yes.
we'll definitely focus on that. But before we begin with like the wrapping side of things, just want to get a general sense of like how it's worked in the past, if you're prepping your hair, if there's any things I can help with on like the prep side to begin with.
Okay. So in the past, I've just used water.
Great
Um,
model.
I do have this volumizing mousse that I've never used before
Cool. Yep.
that I thought maybe could help. When I've done it in the past, I've ended up having almost like ringlets in the front and then almost flat in the back.
Got it. Okay. Yep.
I don't like the ringlets or the flat. I kind of want either like an S or like a beachy wave, something that looks less like proper.
Less proper. We can definitely do that. Okay, less proper beachy waves. I can help on that front with another wrap technique. We'll do that at the second half of the hair. And yeah, okay, more waves, more curls in the back. I'm just thinking what we're gonna do here. All right, we're good to go.
Okay,
So
awesome.
awesome. So yeah, when we start, I think the mousse is a great idea. You can always try it out. I'm a fan of mousse.
Okay,
But
okay.
yeah, lightly dampen your hair. You want to focus ear level down. If you want to put your hair, like it's already damp. Is your hair already damp? Do you want to spray it? I
No,
don't
I
know.
can damp it right
If
now
you want
though.
to, you don't have
Yeah,
to. Yeah, go
I'm
for
fine
it.
doing it.
Go
But you
for
can
it,
keep
honey.
talking if you want.
And the less damp your hair is, the more like loose and beachier it will be as well.
Okay,
It'll also set
okay,
faster. But the more water,
okay,
the longer it'll take to set, and the more tight and formed those curls will be.
okay.
That's just
Good
like
to know.
a general rule. And normally you want to focus like ear level down. And since we're going to focus a little bit on like the face framing pieces, just make sure it's like a little wet where
Okay,
towards the front. Just a light spray, nothing crazy. Like you're
okay.
perfuming your hair.
There we go.
Cool. All right. Awesome. So now we'll get to wrapping it. I like to make sure the scrunchies are on the wrists, just so that when we get to that point, we're good to go. Cool.
Perfect.
And then our hair is parted in two and in front. Awesome. And yeah, I like to start by folding it in half so that the ends are even and you get that
Okay,
right in the middle.
all right.
Fabulous. And now when we put it on, we want to make sure the wire is facing forward, not backwards. And that crease just helps it like lay centered so the ends are even. Fabulous. Now, have you practiced this part?
Yes,
Okay. So we'll want to do that. Are you a righty or a lefty? I can help you
I'm
here.
a righty.
All right, we
Sorry,
got this,
I'm the
honey.
right one.
So I like to put my left hand on top if you're a righty.
Mm-hmm.
Left hand on top, and then with your right hand, we're gonna go in this way. Fabulous, right hand position. Pull it towards your face, and then over. Great. And then you're just gonna try to use like the back of your hand to just bend that end up. Yep, and now you're in a good spot. All you're gonna do now is push that tail backwards and twist
Oh,
the
I may have
headband.
messed up.
Yeah, not the hair, but yep. There you go. We can take it from the top. Let me show you
Okay, sorry
all
about
doing it.
that.
There's nothing to apologize. That's why I'm here. All right. Left hand
Okay,
on top. With your right
yes.
hand, you're going to swoop in. Perfect.
Uh-huh.
Grab all the hair, pull it towards your face, and then over. Great. And now just try to use the back of your hand. Yeah, just want to bend that end up. Great. Now you're in a good spot. That's all that matters. So now what
Okay,
you do is push this just backwards.
okay,
And all you're doing is wrapping the end around itself, and you're just making a pigtail on one side so that you don't need a clip and it's nice and secure so it's not sliding around while you're doing it. Fabulous. And nailed it. All right. So now with the other side, we're going to take a small, like it should only be 1 inch deep. But what
like
we're going
that.
to do is do it starting, we want it like by the cheekbone, right? Is that kind of where like you want it to hit? That's usually
Yeah.
where I
Mm-hmm.
like to do it. Okay, so we're going to go cheekbone, right? In but not too deep. It's going to be a very light section. Perfect. Fabulous.
Okay. Okay, should I
Do a
grab
little
it?
bit more. Yeah, do a little
Start?
bit more. So you're
Okay.
basically grabbing like the first 1 inch of hair
Okay,
there.
I see.
So that it
And
goes
keep that 1 inch from the hairline all the way down to the cheekbone?
down. Exactly. So you're grabbing
Okay.
like a deep, I don't know, a longer section that skims the
Okay.
hairline. Awesome.
Okay.
And now instead of pulling it up this way, we're going to want to kind of keep it in line with that cheekbone angle. So just more like straight across. Just pull it kind of straight across. Yep. Fabulous. Great. Maybe tug it down a little bit. So it's basically wherever it's wrapping here is where it's going to fall. So it'll like come down, it's going to hit here. So that
Oh,
just
okay.
gives you a sense of like, yeah, that looks good. Perfect.
I see.
Yep, I like it. All right.
Okay.
Now we're going to grab a second section right underneath the first and combine it.
Okay.
And with these first 2 sections, at least 2 or, yeah, first 2, we'll want to kind of keep it close to the hairline. And then what we'll do
Okay.
is we'll angle the headband a little further back to get more of the curls in the back. Cool. And we're going to pull that over and then under.
Okay, still angling down a little bit like that.
Yep, that works. You just want to make sure at this point each wrap is touching the last.
Oh, I see.
And the only reason we really angled down on that first one is just because that face framing piece is important. So we're just trying to make sure it sets in the right way. Otherwise, you're just trying to pull them together. Cool. And so now we're going to grab another section underneath and combine it. And this one can go a little bit deeper.
Okay.
And that'll get the curls kind of starting sooner in the back as you're grabbing more hair.
Mm.
And pull that more so up and then over. You want to make sure that each wrap is touching the last.
Okay. So like here?
Yep, that looks good. Yeah, you can grab that much.
Okay.
Because those first 2 wraps should lock it in kind of closer to the hair, and then the rest, yeah, great. And
Okay.
then you can grab all the hair that's left. We're at the ear, it looks like. Yep, you're at the ear.
Yeah.
So grab all the hair that's left and combine it and pull it, yeah, up and close. And then just wrap it around. And basically, like, the more you angle the headband a little bit further back while you're wrapping it, the curls will just kind of hit further in the back that way. But
I see.
and that's just up to you and preference of how you want it to be, how it sits on your head and feels comfortable. That looks great, Ange.
Okay.
Yeah, fabulous. Awesome.
All right.
Cool. And then we can add the scrunchie. Now, one thing, since you're mentioning like beachy or less perfect, one thing we can do here, I'll just mention it in case it's of your style, is to leave the ends more out so you get like that straight end look as opposed to like, so you don't make it too tight. It should only be about like 3 wraps of the scrunchie as well. So it shouldn't be like, yeah, that looks good.
Okay. Okay.
So you'll want it like locking it in, ends are out. Fabulous. All right. So now we can do the other side. You nailed that. So I'm going to show you another approach that will give you a different look. What we're going to do on this side is it should look more beachy when we do it this way. We're going to do the same thing with that first piece, you know, going ear in, sorry, not ear, cheekbone. What body part am I talking about? Cheekbone, that small section. Fabulous. And again, it shouldn't be too deep. You got it. Not too deep.
I feel like I'm so awkward with my hair. Okay.
I'm glad you have it looks like you have a mirror there, right?
Yes. Awesome. Yes, I do.
That's good. Yeah, that'll help. So skimming the hairline, perfect. And pull it up, like kind of straight across or down a little bit. Just keeping in mind whenever that first wrap releases, you'll get a sense of where it's going to fall. Okay. So there you go.
Use just 2 hands to section that. Okay, there we go.
Perfect.
Kind of. I don't know. Okay.
Awesome. You got it. Yeah.
And then down.
And down. Yeah, I think down a little bit because it'll just kind of hit softer. as opposed
Yeah.
to like a hard boing. Yeah, perfect.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
then what we'll do is we'll do one more twist around to kind of lock that piece in because we're gonna, so we just did that first wrap, right? Wrap it around one
Mhm.
more time. Great. Because what we're gonna do now is add another section right underneath the first and combine it. But we'll take a second to twist it.
Okay.
And so you're just making a twist. And so when you do this, it's going to set it a little bit more beachy.
Okay,
It's going to
cool.
be a different look. Yeah. You can
Mhm.
wrap it around twice so that it kind of locks it in and gives you a moment. And don't worry about the ends because they'll get twisted at some point too.
Cool.
Now we can add another section and combine it and then twist.
Okay.
So it's creating like more of like a rope curl, like you're rope
Yeah.
curling it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and this is
Which is what I
definitely like,
tend to
yeah.
like. Yeah.
Now, one thing to note I'm noticing is that you're holding the headband out here while you're doing it. If you keep it kind of closer to your face while you're doing it, it'll just mean that when you pull it in, it's going to be just tighter as opposed to just having this extra hair that kind of then just,
Okay.
you know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, yeah, wrap it around like twice or so just to make sure it's kind of locked in so that you have a moment to add more hair. And now you're at the ear. Yeah, fabulous. And so you're at the ear, so we'll grab all the hair that's left, combine it, and then give it a good twist. All the hair together. Fabulous. And then wrap it around. And this is just, yeah, bit by bit. It takes a, you know, a little more time, but not too bad. Could be worse.
Yeah.
And it does not need to be perfect because it's
And then my hair does have like a few chunks of layers. So
that's
when I
fine.
get to this point, it just sticks out.
That is fine. So what I would do is kind of stop at that point because I see how your hair is sticking out. What we're gonna do is just add the scrunchie now, and then we'll
Okay.
fix the ends afterwards. Because if we just want to make sure we lock in everything we do, and then it's easy to fix the ends and twist them in.
Okay.
So you can, yeah, leave out the last. I'm mirroring your, just mirroring it. Yeah, cool.
And just 3 times.
3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, fabulous. All right. So now what we want, so like if you want to leave the ends out, you can, it'll create the different look. But here is where you can just take a moment to twist that end, wrap it around, and then move one of like the scrunchy wraps and just kind of hug it. But at least you've got this all locked in. So you're just moving one of the wraps to just kind of hug it in. Perfect.
Kind of.
Fabulous. Yeah. And don't worry too much. You'll get that kind of tucked in when you do the twist in the back. It's just a little bit left. But yeah.
Okay.
Fabulous. All right. So the one other thing you can do, which will work more effectively on the first side we wrap. So now that we're done, you can always twist to tighten it and it'll set tighter curls. And if you want to set them a little bit looser, you can twist it the other way. So you have a little bit of the shape control there to make it like looser, beachier, as opposed to, yeah.
Okay.
Classic tight. Cool. And then for the headband look is what you're gonna do is cross them in the back. This is how I do it. Switch hands. The one that's under, I tuck it over. The one that's on top, I tuck it under. I think I'm on camera. Okay, good.
You are.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around to see if it looks right.
Let me see. There's really no wrong way to do it, but yeah, as long as it stays, you're good to go. Fabulous.
Awesome.
You nailed it. Nailed it. Cool. And then, yeah, just wait for your hair to dry.
Awesome.
Awesome. One other tip, actually, I'll tell you, you don't have to follow me on this one, is once it's all dry, when you're taking it out, you can always just twist the other way to loosen it up first. So it'll just make it coming out much easier. So like twist it to loosen it. Especially with the, you know, this stuff that we're doing here, you'll want to make sure it's like not getting too tangled.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. So
Awesome.
good to go, hun. If you have any other questions, you can always reach out.
Thank
Do you
you.
have any other questions at this time? I should ask you that.
No, thank you. That was really cool.
My
Thanks.
pleasure. My pleasure. Awesome. Well, it was so nice to meet you, Ange. Have a most wonderful day. And thank you
You
so
as
much for being our
well.
girlfriend. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, honey.
Have a good day.
You
Bye.
too.